brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/talkingdead for 85,000 titles to choose from for your iPod or MP3 player. Hey everybody, welcome to Talking Dead. This is episode number 47. 47, I know, for the 20th of June, 2011. Thanks for joining us. We are happy to be here. Jason, tell me about your life. What's going on?
Holy cannoli, I can't believe it's the 20th of June already.
I know, it's the year's half over.
Yeah, pretty much. Tomorrow's first day of summer.
Oh yeah, that's called the summer solstice, right? That's right. See, I know me some
English?
English? No, what's that called? Is that weather?
Astronomy?
Astronomy?
It's astrophysics, really.
I know me some astrophysics.
Astronomy, I think.
Okay, covered.
Are you using climate? No, it's
not
weather. It's not weather.
No,
It's the sun, where the sun is the relative position of the Earth on its axis.
Well, see, there you go. I know astrophysics. Smarter than I think.
Yeah, I've always meant to look up whether or not first day of summer, whether the sun is actually directly north of us or still south of us, you know?
No, I have no idea. My astrophysics knowledge ends right there.
That's it. Where is that topic of Capricorn or whatever it is?
So, can you tell me what time exactly tomorrow the solstice occurs?
No.
Because I believe there's a specific hour.
I do believe you can stand. It's the only day in the year that you can stand an egg on its end.
Really? No,
Not really. You have to do it right at noon, but, you know, noon where?
Noon, just like the rapture. 6 p.m. where? Who knows? I tried to look it up quickly and I couldn't. Oh, I see. It's one for each season. Summer solstice,
Yeah.
the fall,
Equinox.
the winter,
Solstice.
both equinoxes.
And, well, yeah, solstice is at the ends, and equinox is equal.
All right, well, you want something
Tell me
to
what equinox, which is the odd equinox.
There's gaps in everybody's knowledge, and that happens to be one of mine, obviously.
Really?
So we've got an excellent show coming up.
We do.
We sure do. We sure
It's
do.
awesome to hear.
We are profiling Andrew Lincoln on the podcast today. We watched some of his past work. We're going to talk about that and run it down. But before that, of course, we have the Walking Dead news, all the news that you need to know and are dying to hear.
That's really a lot. Because that's all the news you need to know, and you are dying to hear it.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Why else are we here?
Quite the assumption.
Let's start.
And an excellent show before we even go ahead and do the show.
Well,
We pre-reviewed this show.
I should clarify.
I'm sorry,
We've got the potential for an awesome show today. We'll see how it goes.
Will we ever live up to our potential? This remains to be seen.
All right. Our first there you go.
That's it. We're going to have a video show, and you may or may not want to hear this.
Our first news item is an on-set interview with Robert Kirkman. Now, season 2 is underway, film wise.
Well underway.
And he did an interview. I think this was with people from AMC, so nobody, not a inside journalist or anything like
That'd be
that.
hard hitting, fat kind of questions.
No, definitely. But I pulled out some information from this interview. First of all, just a quote that he had. He said there are some really awesome set pieces coming up in the first episode. So they're not waiting, they're not easing into the back end things. They're just going to hit the ground running.
As they should, yes.
Right. Off the top of your head, what do you think we're going to see as a set piece in the first episode? Some sort of road encounter with a mob? A herd of zombies?
I think a heck of a lot of headshots.
Yeah, that's a given. We know that. But if they're driving along the road, not knowing what to do, they're probably going to have to stop to take a leak, deciding where to go, to see what to do, and encounter some sort of large group of
I
zombies.
think you're going to have to plow through a group of large zombies.
You think
Yeah,
they're
that's how we get through the road. There's no way around. We go through.
The thing about that,
shell in front of them, there we go.
yeah, the thing about that is too many times you can't drive through.
No, it's a bad idea.
You just get dumped up in them,
Yeah, very messy
quickly. But hey, large set pieces sounds cool. We'll speculate more maybe on what we're going to see set piece wise throughout the season.
Helicopter explosion. I predict a helicopter explosion.
Some sort of helicopter crash and explosion.
Yes.
Probably with survivors from the helicopter.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think we just go down on a helicopter and then explosion. What the hell is that?
Oh, and a mid-air helicopter.
Yeah, it's an explosion for some reason. I think it's coming out. All kinds of weird things.
All right, you're here for it first. I really can't talk. Jason's crazy theory is that there will be a helicopter exploding in the sky. In the same interview, when asked about Herschel's farm, Robert Kirkman said, Season 1 focused on Atlanta so much, and we got to see desolate Atlanta and how this stuff affects cities. Rather than repeat ourselves, we're going out into the woods. We're going to see a lot of rural roads and open fields, see how bad things are as you get away from the city centers. It's definitely different enough from season 2 stands on its own and has its own thing. And a lot of that comes from Herschel's farm and seeing these characters. All I can say is it's going to be great, and the casting on season 2 is going to be as pitch perfect as the casting on season 1. I can't wait for everyone to meet Herschel.
Nice. Seems like a ranch.
No, it's a farm.
I
Ranch.
thought there was some talk of Herschel being a vet.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. A veterinarian.
He might be a vet, a Vietnam vet.
He could be. In last week's news, it sort of indicated that he was an animal doctor, not a former war hero.
Well, anyway, the farm.
He's definitely a farmer. No matter what else he did, he's a farmer. So
I saw a sign yesterday driving out just a town a little bit, and with a sign that said, "If you wait today, thank a farmer." I thought that was a really nice sign.
yeah, well,
Thank you, farmers.
They grow the food that we eat. And thank you very much, farmers. You're doing a bang up job.
Yes.
Everyone should buy their food more locally. I should support that. That's the whole story. So Kirkman finished that segment with, I can't wait for everyone to meet Herschel, implying to me that this person has been cast.
Well, I would assume they're starting filming.
Well, you never know when they're going to get to the farm. I mean, it could be the end of the season for all we know. Never really cast.
I think the whole season's probably pretty much cast at this point.
Yeah, I think so. But really, I'm sure there's some roles that aren't filled yet. Herschel's a big one, obviously. So you take that.
You start with the primary characters, right? We have the main cast. They're already cast, so we can move on from there. Then you start going like, okay, we need Herschel, we need the other characters that are here this year. So you start with those, and you start filling in the gap to go around your primary characters.
That's true. We should do a fantasy casting for Herschel.
We should.
At least him. John Goodman. As long as he's in there somewhere.
Yeah, the governor, that's fine. Herschel, that's fine.
I don't know if John Goodman is the man to play Herschel. I don't know why. I know he could grow a beard and be all haggard and stuff.
John Leguizamo?
No, too bad. We'll see. I'm sure Dave has some really good ideas. So, Dave, if we don't get you on here soon, call in and write in. Let us know who you think.
Liam Neeson. Seems to the whole show.
Yeah, he might. I don't know. So that'll be interesting to find out. We're going to keep our eyes on the IMDb for any new casting info. Soon we'll start doing our IMDb cast updates again, I think. Yeah. We're doing for season 1 as it's being developed. So we'll take a look before this episode. Maybe next time.
I'm gonna look right now while you're talking.
Do it. Kirkman was asked whether he direct an episode. And he said, no, that's ridiculous. I won't do that until season 3.
Oh.
Look, directing looks really difficult. And I'm really proud of the fact that I made my living by doing things that aren't very difficult. So, I don't want to
that's not true.
He said, I don't want to start working for a living. That just seems unwise to me.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah, exactly. If you do easy stuff like write publish comics and sign TV deals and video game deals and stuff like that, why would you do anything hard?
Well, one piece of advice that I got from I forget who it was, but he said the secret to being rich is find a way to make money while you're sleeping. Right, something that just makes money whether you continue pushing it or not. Like I work for a living. If I don't work, I don't make money. Right. So find a way to make money while you're sleeping.
That makes a lot of sense. Find a way to make money while you're not working.
Yeah,
ideally sleeping.
Yeah, start something. Just make money on its own.
Yeah, so I don't know. Him directing, who knows if he can direct, but they say everyone wants to do that, so maybe he'll do it someday. Finally, he confirmed that we'll see a potential love interest for Glenn. Now, of course, as we all know, those who read the comic, and it's early on in the comic that Glenn hooks up with one of Herschel's daughters named Maggie, right? And so we're going to see that. That's great. Maggie's going to be in the show. That's good. That's really all he said. So there you go. Since season, go ahead.
I'm happy with
I'm happy with Glenn too. Since season 2 is now filming, we have a number of filming locations listed. A lot of this information comes from onlocationvacations.com, a site we have used before for finding out where stuff's happening. The biggest bit of information I think is that film crews have been approved to use the Newman High School gymnasium on July 7th and 8th and the 11th and 12th. Filming will take place during the day and night. Apparently, they'll be shooting a scene with survivors running towards zombies at the high school, but it will be staged to look like an abandoned FEMA camp.
Okay.
FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
I was worried about zombie
cheerleaders and football
players, yeah.
The zombie computer nerd and
Yeah.
all the stereotypes from high school.
I was worried.
Well, no, it's going to be a FEMA camp, which is interesting because it means our survivors are going to end up in another potential location that held out a little bit longer into the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, and it makes sense that to be a school as well.
Oh, it does, yeah, for sure.
So they're used to bomb shelters and various such. One of the high schools in the same way where I grew up was designed to double as a bomb shelter. Very small hallways, lots and lots of concrete, that kind of thing.
Yeah, lots and lots of concrete.
The gymnasium was in the middle, didn't have any windows, didn't have like a school all the way around it, so it was very well shielded.
Yeah, I kind of think of the gyms in the schools I went to were all in the center as well. I guess the idea is that you can go in there and maybe you won't die in the event of a serious attack. We'll see.
Maybe for a little while,
yeah. Unless the nuke lands right on the school.
Well, yeah, the zoo was always targeted, right? Because the locks are there, from like Superior to like Huron. In order to, if you blew up those locks, basically you shut down so much shipping channel that it would really impede any kind of war or manufacturing. So that's good. They also yeah, we're targeted. So that was in the 80s, so they're like, yeah,
full war. Yeah. Other locations include Sonoya's Raleigh Studios, Atlanta. That's the primary location for in studio filming. Now, they do a lot of on location stuff for this show, but it says areas in Sonoya, Sharpsburg, Fayette County, and several locations in unincorporated Coweta County. I don't know any of these places. They're all presumably counties and locations in and around Atlanta, in Georgia. But if you're in that area and you live or travel through any of these areas, who knows, you might walk into stray zombies.
And tell us about it.
Absolutely, tell us about it. Give us a call or give us an email and let us know if you have pictures. Send my way.
Good.
We'll post it. Don't do anything silly. Don't get yourself in trouble for
or illegal.
Yeah, that's what I mean by silly. Don't get yourself in trouble doing anything, but if you happen to be around or you get a snapshot, send it over. It'd be great.
On the spot reporters.
Well, we need some of those. Yeah, we need some of those. Location manager Michael Riley said, just referring to the effort involved in working with the local community and stuff like that, he said it will be a fairly large piece of work.
Wow.
So the article goes on to talk about how they got to work with local police and the community because they're shutting down roads, and buildings, fire marshal. They're filming a show that involves a lot of death and destruction, so they got to really bash the place up, so to speak, to make it look authentic and so on. So sounds like we're going to get some pretty cool location work in season 2 anyway. Exciting. Hopefully on the scale of the hospital in season 1. That was really, really well done. More CGI than I expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that scene after watching some of the features on the DVD, but still very, very cool. Very cool. So there you go. If you're in those areas, go check it out and let us know what you see. So the Walking Dead board game has more or less been revealed. This is something we talked about a number of weeks or months ago, but we didn't have too much information on it at the time. Mike, sent us an email recently regarding the board game, and I just want to read that before we get into the news. He said, "Hello, Chris and Jason. I have two thoughts on the Walking Dead card game. Oh, yeah, there's a card game and a board game, I believe. Okay, sorry to keep you straight. In the article said that the initial set will only include 72 cards. I've played a few card games like this in the past, and this seems like a low amount of cards for a game. Granted, other expansion sets would add more cards. You're looking at very few possible deck combinations with only 72 cards. Maybe it is possible that this is only a collectible card set, not a game. However, if it is a game, I think it would play like this. And I'll try to be brief. There are two players, and they each have a deck they have built. One player would have a survivor slash good guy deck, and the other would have a zombie slash bad guy deck. Like with the Star Wars card game from Decipher from back in 1995, one player would be good, the other bad. Certain characters would fit into one side, and the other cards would allow good guys to become zombies and so on. For example, Rick would be in the good deck, while people like the Governor would be in the bad guy deck. Players would take turns playing their cards, fighting zombies, moving from location to location, and so on. The game would be over when one player runs out of cards. So, yeah, that sounds pretty straightforward. Now, there's information about that as well as the board game, and there's definitely a board game coming because there was a picture, and I'll post a link in the show notes for it. But this comes from MTV's Geek blog and an interview with Cryptozoic Entertainment's Chief Creative Officer Corey Jones. So, did you take a look at the picture of the board game?
Yeah, just looking at it.
What are your thoughts on that? It looks like Clue. It does. It looks like a mix of Clue and Monopoly. Yeah, where you've got the spaces around the edge with the bigger ones in the corners, and it kind of looks like a weird hybrid of those two.
Yeah, hopefully it's not snakes and ladders.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be snakes and ladders. But here's some more information from the article. First of all, Corey Jones, the CEO of Cryptozoic Entertainment, said how highly came to the project. We were absolutely in love with the property, like everyone, and that's why we pursued it. We were just lucky enough to get the chance to go in and pitch them on making a board game and a trading card set. I read this before. I think we just had a trading card set. They like what they had to say, so from there we picked up the license. So it sounds like they went to Kirkman and said, "Hey, we want to do this." Right? And he's like, "Well, why not?"
Thank you for that money.
That's
right.
right. I do love those eggs. So that's the game mechanics. The board game has got some interesting mechanics moving around the board, and it being a representation of the goals from the first season with a good abstraction to build mechanics on top of. You travel around to the CDC, the old folks' home, and 3 different places, and these different places, having to get to each of the 4 corners, collect a card from there, and get back to the base camp. But as you're doing that, you're drawing from an encounter deck, potentially encountering hostile survivors, friendly survivors, and often zombies. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's sort of a cross between Monopoly, Clue, snakes and ladders, and Trivial Pursuit.
A little bit. There's no trivia.
No, there's no trivia. There's also snakes or ladders.
True. So you have base camp, you roll dice to travel out into 4 locations on the board to achieve something or collect something. And as you're going there, you pull cards that are representing encounters, and you have to deal with those encounters on your way. Sounds interesting. The other thing is that there's no set pattern around the board. You can do it in whatever order and direction you want, which sounds pretty cool. So I think you have a good time playing the game.
I think, and I wonder if any of the main characters also turn into zombies, and that kind of changes things after a while. Like you get into an encounter, you get bit, and then you turn into a zombie, and now you're chasing the other characters around.
Yeah, that might be fun too. They revealed that we do play as the main characters. So far, we know you can be Rick, Glenn, or Andrea, and there are 3 others that you can play as that have not been announced yet.
Right, well, it looks like Shane.
Yeah,
And Lori.
Shane, Lori, and Dale.
See, also see Glenn, also see Zombie.
So there you go, from the picture, right?
Yeah, from the picture.
Very nice. But it's a pretty in-depth interview. There's a lot of information about the game, so everyone check our show notes and go check out the picture and read the interview because it's pretty good information and something we're going to try out for sure. Yeah, and the card game looks like it's just a trading card set, which is okay.
That's okay. You get them all, and you get them framed and done well.
Perfect. So what I plan on doing, they'll go next to my action figure set.
That'd be good.
We'll talk about it later. So E3, the big video game expo, was last week, and a little bit of information came out about the Walking Dead video game that's upcoming. Not a ton. We didn't get to see any gameplay footage or anything like that. All that was really released was, I think, a couple of statements and some concept art.
Right.
Did you take a look at concept art?
I'm looking at it right now.
There you go. So we get pictures of our characters who are Lee Everett and Clementine, who's a young girl. Apparently Lee is an escaped prisoner or he's being transferred, and his convoy, his van he's in, gets into an encounter with a zombie and he ends up escaping, and then is trying to survive in the world with Clementine, who runs into you guys by yourself for some reason. So from the GamePro.com article I read, it said when the game begins, a roamer zombie causes a car accident transporting Lee, who's revealed to be a prisoner. He gets his freedom, but obviously in pretty horrible circumstances. That's from Telltale executive producer Kevin Boyle. He also notes that Lee's backstory plays a pivotal role in the game. So he will be a criminal with a backstory that comes up in the game again. Sounds interesting. You'll learn what really went on and why he was in the spot that he was in. I feel like he might have one of these sort of conflicted characters. Right now he's arrested for something that maybe he didn't really do.
Or maybe he did, he had good reason for doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Kate and Lost.
It says he's a hero figure, but he's not squeaky clean.
Well, that's good. That's the best kind.
Yeah.
Because not everybody can be Superman.
No, not everyone can be.
You want to have Batman.
You need that. That's definitely
That's why Batman can take on Superman.
So apparently there will be run-ins with characters we know. I mean, their paths will cross. Right. But what we're doing as Lee Everett and Clementine in the game doesn't really impact what our existing characters are doing in Atlanta and the camp and things like that. That's good. So that's good. It'd be nice to have them there and maybe chat with them a while and then move on. Yeah, continue doing our own thing. So one other interesting note is that there will be a Facebook tie-in game. Right. No real details were given, but some connections exist between the social game and the main game. Who knows what they could be?
Let me know what that's like.
You're not gonna try it, right?
I'm not big on Facebook interactions with other things. I'm not big on Facebook interactions with me.
Yeah, I know that. I'm interested in it only because recently I had the opportunity to do some development on Facebook, right? So I've gotten to know how things work over there a little bit. So
give me a tutorial.
Yeah, if you want, I kind of got the backdoor view, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that'd be very helpful because the front doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I know, it really doesn't.
Every time I go to Facebook, I look around, it's like, okay, what now? How do I find where's the now they're filtering my feed for me for some reason.
Facebook is generally very confusing for users. You and I are pretty savvy internet people. You think so? You think we figure it out, but it's a confusing site. But I at least know now how their apps work and their APIs and stuff like that. So that helps a little bit. But in that respect, I'll be interested in it. So we'll see. I'll definitely give it a try and let everyone know what I think. Incidentally, Telltale Games recently secured $7 million in investment. So that's good.
That's good.
Can't hurt. They need money to do these things. It sounds like they are getting some. Now, we mentioned the action figures a little bit ago, and more of them have been revealed. Pull up those pictures.
They're awesome.
You think they're awesome, eh?
Harold Dixon with his Mesa Squirrels there. That's awesome.
He's got a Mesa Squirrels and crossbow out. We've got Rick Grimes there with his handgun. Now it's not the big. Do you remember what the gun he was? Yeah, it's not the big revolver he has.
No, it looks like a 9mm or something.
That's kind of a bummer. I would have liked to have seen the big old thing that blows his heads off. Check the other link. He does his hat. Look, the other link has him with a shotgun too. Which is cool. And don't forget we have 2 sets. One based on the comic and one based on the TV show, right?
That was obviously based on the TV show.
The
first one I saw was Harold Dixon.
Yeah, Mesa Squirrels. Yeah, that's the TV show one.
There we go.
It really looks like Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus.
Yeah, no, it does. It really does.
They did a nice job. So the other set from the comic, we've got a different Rick, a couple of zombies, and Michonne. I don't know what accessories she comes with, but Rick has shotgun and it looks like a hammer hanging off his belt.
Well, Michonne's got a sword.
You think she's got
a couple of arms zombies.
Well, I don't know.
That is awesome.
It looks like one of the zombies comes with an axe in his head, which is kind of cool. That's right. And as we know, these parts are going to come off of them, and their guts are going to fall out, and I think these are going to be really great fun for those of us.
The whole family.
The whole family. At least those of us old enough to play with.
And not have nightmares.
And not nightmares. Yeah. You know, I think that means we've now seen all the figures looking like that's like the first images we have of some of those. So they do look really cool, and I can't wait to get my hands on them. They're coming in September and November. I don't know which order. I don't know if the TV show ones come first or the comic ones do.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm going to say TV ones first, leading up to premiere of the TV show.
Or if they come in November, it's in the middle of the TV show.
Yeah, that's
right. Better and for Christmas.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, November's a little late for Christmas. The Christmas season starts in August these days.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to say that the comic book ones will come first.
Okay. We'll see. That's my prediction. Very good. Either way, I'm getting them. Okay, award nominations. Every week it seems like there are more award nominations for The Walking Dead. They just keep getting more and more acclaim and praise.
Acclaim. More and more nominated.
That's right. So the Broadcast Television Journalists Association announced their nominees for the first ever Critics' Choice Television Awards. The Walking Dead was honored with a nod in the Best Drama Series category.
Well, I'm confused by the Journalists Association. Broadcast Television Journalists?
The BTJA, Broadcast Television Journalists Association.
Well, why are journalists giving awards to drama series?
I don't know. Everyone wants to give out their own awards.
I hate picking apart all the awards people. That's not giving someone evil.
Yeah, you know they don't really give out eagles, right?
Okay.
They're just called Eagle Awards.
You said it, or you're joking.
Yeah, sometimes I do that.
You burned me. I believe that until today. Jerk.
Really?
Dude, I'm not very smart.
Right. Except for about astrophysics or whatever. The Portal Awards.
I believe that. That's concerning that you pulled over when I said that.
Well, you really think someone would give it an eagle?
I think it's a really dumb thing to do.
You know, maybe a bronze eagle on a statue.
That would be cool.
That would,
Well, you don't have to really bronze a real eagle.
No.
Anyway, we'll move on. I actually believe that.
The Portal Awards, Best Actor in Television and
They
Rating.
gave out portals.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Real portals.
Eagle Awards give out eagles, Portal Awards give out portals, and Broadcast Television Journalists Association Awards give out broadcast television journalists.
Let's see, I can see that.
You don't want
You're your own journalist.
You can
Go
follow
forth
around.
and write things.
There you go. So the Portal Awards. Andrew Lincoln nominated in the Best Actor Television category, and Walking Dead nominated in the Best Series on Television category. So good for them. We'll find out if they win. The Television Critics Association. So it's kind of like television broadcast.
Oh, these are critics. That's fine.
I suppose journalists support the news, critics critique. What they do? They announced the nominees for the 2011 TCA Awards. In fact, they're probably not called that. That was I think. The Walking Dead was honored with a nomination in the Outstanding New Program category. Very good.
I believe it is an outstanding new program.
It really is. Yeah. So there we go. Hopefully they will win. We'll follow up if we find or when we find results on all those awards and just keep adding to our list of Walking Dead nominations and hopefully wins. So here's something I'm going to classify as a rumor.
Okay.
A German website is planning to have an official premiere date for season 2 on in Germany, and that is October 21st. That would be like the week before Halloween.
Yeah, I can buy that.
You think so?
10 days before Halloween.
Do you think this, if true, indicates when it would premiere around the world? Because we know season 1, it was the largest worldwide premiere show ever.
Right.
Simultaneous premiere. I mean. So now there were slight differences. I think the UK was 5 days behind and things like that, but I probably consider that close enough.
Yeah.
Although if not, I think the rest of the world was pretty much on Halloween when it premiered. So October 21st, 2011, the Stern site is saying that's when it's going to be.
Yeah.
The segment
Friday.
That's Friday?
That's a Friday. The 21st is a Friday. You've got a full week and 3 days before Halloween. That's a little early, I think.
And that puts Halloween on Monday next year?
Monday.
Rather than a Sunday when it's broadcasting on season 1.
So I would say the 30th of October would be the premiere.
Unless they want to nail it on Halloween again, go on Monday night and then subsequently on Sundays.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
The site was in German, so I couldn't read it myself and really verify what they were saying.
You already
No, do you?
No.
Okay. So I had to rely on the report on bleedingcool.com. Now, one of the things they suggested in the article is that maybe they would do the premiere, which is maybe an hour and a half or 2 hour premiere on the 21st, and then the next week on Halloween or close to Halloween, they'd sort of rebroadcast the first one and go to the second one.
Yeah, AC does that anyway.
Well, I know they do that anyway, but they actually market this and say, it starts this day, but on Halloween, catch up with the first and second episode.
Did you miss it?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's gonna miss it. That'd be crazy.
I'm skeptical, but I don't see any reason to really doubt it at this point.
Well, I don't see any reason to believe it either. Is the only problem. So we'll see. I mean, hey, you're better, really. I just want to back on the air.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I believe them until something comes along and makes me think otherwise.
Or confirmed or denied. Right. And neither confirmed or denied. Finally, in the news this week, it was announced that The Walking Dead will have a panel at San Diego Comic Con. Nobody was really concerned that wouldn't happen, but it was made official this week or recently. Date and time to be announced.
Now, you may wonder why I'm sighing about that. You think I'd be excited about it, but sadly, we're not going to San Diego Comic Con, so it makes me sad.
Yeah, here's the story. Everyone, do you want to tell enlighten people on exactly what happened?
Well, we were planning on going to San Diego Comic Con. We were all very excited. I was on board. You were on board. My wife was on board. I don't know if your wife was planning on coming.
May or may not have.
I booked time off work. I had those 2 weeks off.
I do too.
Jenny had that time off as well. We're all set to go. And then they had issues with releasing the tickets. They released the tickets and then they got so swamped they had to shut down. And then they released the tickets and they got so swamped they had to shut down. So they did a test release of 1,000 tickets on a new ticket server of some kind. And then so they changed the date so many times that when they did release the tickets, it was like 7 o'clock at night when I realized I think the tickets were on sale today. And then by the time I got home, they were also out.
Yes, and I had a similar problem, although I remember earlier than you.
Yeah.
And I went on and they were also out. And it was something like something ridiculous, like 7 minutes or something like that. So I could have remembered almost right away. And I still would miss my chance. So kind of a bummer. I know you can pick up tickets on eBay and things like that, but unfortunately, we just coming from where we are, it's kind of far, it's kind of expensive to get there. We can't really make any chance. So unfortunately, we can't.
It's too far to go for something that's not absolutely sure.
Exactly. If we could get in, I mean, I don't think it's ever guaranteed you can get into the panels you want. You just have to be willing to line up. Right. I would be willing to do that, if I had the pass for the con, right? But without the pass, can't really get on a plane, go down there, hang around outside.
Yeah.
As fun as that would be, it's just not something we do. So
You know, got my wife on board for going to San Diego Comic Con. I told her it's going to be very
California, beautiful weather.
Yeah, I told her all that. She's like, yeah, we can go to California anytime. But what got her on board for San Diego Comic Con was that we're going to stay in the hotel pretty close to the San Diego Comic Con, and we might end up staying in the same hotel as Nathan Fillion if he goes. She's like, well, let's go there.
You never know, really. There's all kinds of celebrities there.
Yeah, but Nathan Fillion, just even the mention that he might possibly be there, maybe got her on board.
He is awesome.
Oh, I like Nathan Fillion.
Me too. So anyways, panels announced. We will bring you date and time when that is released, and if anyone's going, we'd love to have an on-field reporter. So
On the spot reporter.
That's right. Give us
Tell you what else we are. Your purchasing abilities.
That's right. Your ability to use the internet faster than us.
And remember when to go and buy tickets.
Yeah. So there you go. Send us an email if you're going to be on con. You can call the show. You can give us all the updates. It will be great.
Oh my God, you got 3 extra tickets. Let us know.
That's right. It says it, but right away. Yeah, right now. So there you go. Now we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got our Walking Dead actor spotlight on Andrew Lincoln. Stay tuned for that. We'll be right back after this.
I'm all back up now early in the morning. I'll take my leave. I'll bring your words along with me. Maybe one day they will mean something. For now, the buzz will crumble down a little bit too easily. From a time that I had not quite over. What the hell is wrong with me?
For our fine listeners, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 14-day trial to give you a chance to check out their service.
I'm actually excited about having Audible on board. The recommendation I want to let you all know about today is Into the Storm by Taylor Anderson, which is the first book in the Destroyerman series, basically it's an alternate reality. In the spring of 1942, an old four-stacker, steam engine destroyer is fleeing from the Japanese fleet during a naval battle. They sail into a storm and end up in an alternate reality where dinosaurs haven't died out and 2 races of beings have evolved, one from raptors and one from lemurs. And these people have to survive in this new world where they are they start out by being the end-all be-all of naval power in the entire world because they're making old ship in World War II, but it's still a metal steamer ship from an alternate reality. So this is the first of 5 book series, or 5 books so far, and I've listened to 4 of the 5. I'm excited to listen to the 5th one, but the first one is very good. It comes in 16 hours and 16 minutes, which is not bad for your audiobook.
To download this or any other free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/talkingdead. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/talkingdead for your free audiobook today.
You should probably say that I want you while I'm running away from.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Talking Dead episode number 47, and now it's time for our actor spotlight on Andrew Lincoln, who of course plays Rick Grimes on the TV program. Mr. Lincoln was actually born Andrew Clutterbuck. Of course, he is from the UK, and he's been acting, since about 1994, I think.
He's not changed his name because the actors union had a unique name.
Yeah,
it probably already was Andrew Clutterbuck. So.
Probably.
Andrew Lincoln. Why not?
I think it rolls off the tongue a little bit for sure. So
Almost pretty close to Abraham Lincoln.
yes, it is. It's probably where he's going.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
I do like Clutterbuck.
I do too.
I would stay with Clutterbuck.
Sure, why not? It's easy to remember, maybe not as much as Andrew Lincoln, but still.
Oh.
So when we announced our actor spotlight on Andrew Lincoln last episode, we listed a few things we were going to watch. Strike Back was a miniseries that he was in from 2010. We also listed Moonshot, another TV miniseries about the Apollo 11 missions, and Love Actually. Well, I had to update that post a little bit, not because we couldn't find these things, but because we came across some additional stuff we didn't think we had access to, but thought would fit really well into spotlight on Andrew Lincoln as an actor. The first thing is, I think the first thing we'll talk about is an episode of an old British sitcom called Drop the Dead Donkey. Season 4, episode 4, entitled Births and Deaths, broadcast in 1994. The exciting thing here is that this was Andrew Lincoln's very first ever on-screen appearance. Yes, so it was pretty fun. This episode was directed by Lady Oldroyd.
Also a good name.
Nothing funny with that name Oldroyd. It starred Susanna Doyle, Robert Duncan, Ingrid Lacey, and of course Andrew Lincoln's character named Terry.
Good old Terry.
Now we watched one episode of this program, which had numerous seasons, completely out of context of the bigger plot lines. Which I think there were definitely some.
There was some, and there's definitely character history that we didn't see.
Character history. That's okay. I mean, we were really just watching for Andrew Lincoln, and not so much everything else. But I still felt like I had a decent idea of what was going on, and the episode was self-contained enough. I think that it was funny. Did you like it? Did you laugh? Did you think it was a funny show?
I didn't laugh out loud.
There's a couple of good jokes.
There was a couple of good jokes, and I found it amusing, but I don't know if there was any guffaws or any audible kind of noises from humorosity.
Do you think, Andrew Lincoln aside, you would watch more episodes of this program?
No.
You don't think so? I think I would, if it was on, I would check it out because I do think it was funny enough that it got my interest peaked a little
I
bit.
thought the characters were a little cardboard. And
They were cardboard.
Archetypical.
Yeah,
Is that word?
I think so.
Archetype?
Yeah. You know what? It's set as a TV newsroom, like a behind the scenes kind of TV newsroom, right?
News radio.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they did a nice job with it. It definitely made me laugh a
I
little.
thought it was an okay episode, and I enjoyed it for Andrew Lincoln, but I don't think I'd watch it
So
again.
Andrew Lincoln played Terry, as we said, and he is a con man, basically. He cons one of the series regulars into thinking he is his son, long lost son, and basically taking money from him.
£5,000.
£5,000 is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Just hand over to someone.
For a journalism tool.
Right. He's introduced, for journalism school because they're journalists. He's introduced in the episode on the premise, though, that he's there as a contract killer to kill one of the guys for reporting on something and having to testify against some bad guys.
That's right.
So he walks in and he's doing a funny accent.
Yes.
What do you think of his accent?
Well,
You think that was hilarious?
Silly,
I thought it was awesome. I thought he walks in, big glasses on, doing this funny kind of pseudo Eastern European accent, kind of, and I just thought the way everyone around was reacting, hiding under their desks, and just kind of some silly reactions. I thought it really worked. And I think it worked because Andrew Lincoln pulled it off. Sort of.
I think he did too. I think he did a good job overall in the role. I haven't seen a lot do comedy.
Yeah,
no,
no,
this is comedy that I've seen him. So I found that amusing, but overall it was okay.
Okay, but
Andrew Lincoln did a superb job in his role.
he did. I think so. He was totally entertaining. Did a nice job. It didn't feel like a first performance. You know what I mean? Right. He probably, I'm sure he acted before on stage or whatever, and he probably rehearsed a whole bunch, but it didn't feel like he was out there stumbling through it.
No, he was definitely a professional
and seemed very confident in what he was doing. Right. And he was only in about a quarter of the show, maybe a third. He basically shows up and you get this brief storyline about him trying to take his money and being son, and then that's it. So it focused on the series regulars, but there he was.
Yeah, so births and deaths. He was playing both roles at that point because basically his character, the whole show was either about was him being the long lost son of one of the characters, so that's your birth thing, and deaths being the death thing against his other character. So at that time, he was actually both. He was both the birth character and the death character.
So he was pivotal. He was pivotal for the episode, in terms of narrative and title. That's right. So there you go. It was pretty cool. Let's drop that down. Everyone should go check out Andrew Lincoln.
Quite the title.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that refers to. I think that's a journalism term.
I read it and I don't think it is.
No?
I think it was just something. It was close to the working title that they at the moment just decided to go with.
Come on, when at the opening of the episode when he's standing there reporting on the soldiers bringing her one behind him, he's getting less and less coherent. That was funny.
I thought it was a little predictable.
Okay, maybe it was funny for 1994.
Well, maybe it was.
I don't know.
I'll have to go back to 1994 and watch it.
Get in your time machine. Let me know.
Well, personal time machine. Not only do I have to go back to 1994, I have to go back to my mentality in 1994 and then watch it.
You can do it, man.
Well, I have to go back and force myself to watch it when I was in 1994.
Right. Okay.
You watch this.
Watch it. Do it now. Okay. So let's go chronologically. The next thing we dug up was the pilot episode for a British TV series called This Life. This one was directed by the episode called Coming Together and broadcast in 1996. Right. It was directed by Sam Miller and starred Jack Davenport, whom we all know. Amita Deary, Jason Hughes, and Andrew Lincoln as a character called Edgar Egg Cook. Egg is his nickname. Right. So what's the show about?
Well, from what I saw, it's a series about just these 5 people, the 5 young professionals and their lives.
Yeah, the lawyers, right?
Well, I'm not sure they're all lawyers, but it just seems like that.
Working a law firm or a couple of law firms. So the first episode was really a lot of setup. Them coming together, moving into the same house together because they shared a living space. And it was just a lot of introductions to many of the characters. Did you like it?
I don't know. I'd like to watch more of it before I make that kind of judgment call. It was very British.
Sure.
If I may throw that out there and not giving any explanation whatsoever.
Because who knows
what that means? That's like, oh, it's so Canadian. So it was very British. It was compelling, but I'm not sure yet. I'd like to see more of it.
But maybe you want to tune in for some more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I felt the same way.
We're not get it yet.
But you often don't want to TV show. You know a lot. Okay, well, sure. Not all the time. It takes time to develop characters and storylines. Obviously, you can't get everything across the line. So, but I think this one gave us enough that I'm going to tune in for a little more.
I'd like to check it out. I'd like to watch it with my wife because she likes British television.
Yeah, I thought she might take it. Did you enjoy it?
I don't know much.
Oh,
I'd like to watch it with her.
I see. I thought you would. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Now Lincoln, he plays a guy who's just got a job at the new firm. Right. He's also dating someone who already works there.
That's right. They're trying to keep it secret.
And they're trying to keep it secret. Again, he did a pretty good job. And this was a somewhat comedic role.
Yeah, I like that they told him that you got the job to get 17 days to call your own. And what do you mean 17 days to call my own? It's like, well, after weekends and stuff, that's 17 days are the only 17 days in your entire year that you are not working.
They're not working.
He's like, oh, you have to work for a living? Yeah, very sad.
Well, we were talking about Robert Kirkman before. So far he doesn't work for a living. He just does awesome stuff.
I mean, lawyers make if I make generalize, make a lot of money, but they still only make money when they work. Right? They're billable hours. Yes, that's the thing. So I have to work in order to make money. Whereas if you want Facebook, you don't have to.
You're making money while you sleep.
Exactly.
All right. Something exciting happened in this episode is that we got to see Andrew Lincoln Wiener. Yeah, he did some full frontal nudity in the shower episode. Yeah, he steps out of the shower and wow, there he is in all his glory. Didn't expect that.
No, neither.
And it is British. Yeah, it's definitely did Wiener really active.
Well, really.
Yeah, that's right.
The whole shebang.
So after it broadcast, my wife and I watched this together and we were talking about it, and I said to her, "Isn't that crazy? You got to see his Wiener." And I started thinking, is that the appropriate British term? For that? Yeah,
Johnson.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These sound like American things to say to me. Canadian. No, but her answer to me was this. This is a British person.
Yeah, he is British.
That's Irish.
Percy?
Yes, Percy, definitely. So, I guess all those terms qualify as being known to the British people. So, there you go. I'm not joking. That's actually what she sang that song when I asked her how the British people
I wouldn't put that.
Yeah, exactly. So, there you go. If you want to see Lincoln's Percy or John Thomas, go and find this life episode one called Together from 1996. And Jack Davenport, of course, has gone on to great fame and fortune in Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that. So, if you're a fan of coupling, go check it out.
Oh my goodness, go watch coupling.
This show reminded me of coupling in some ways. It reminded me of an early, it felt like an earlier coupling almost, you know?
I don't know, it's a little dark.
Yeah, it didn't have that soap opera camera work style that coupling had, right? I mean, the coupling always felt very soap opera.
What's his name, the writer creator that was Stephen Moffat?
Stephen Moffat,
Yeah,
who's doing Doctor Who now. Yeah, he's a smart guy.
Yes, he is, and he does pretty gold.
Definitely. Next on Andrew Lincoln, what do you introduce this one? 2009.
What are we talking about?
Moonshot.
Moonshot. So this is the Apollo 11, basically the first man on moon, and about the behind the scenes kind of storyline about that. And it actually takes, which was very interesting, actually takes live actual footage and audio, and the actors are actually lip syncing to the audio, the actual audio during the ending. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't notice that.
Really?
Yeah.
It was the actual audio of the communication between Apollo 11 or Tranquility Base and Earth, and the actual communication they were having.
That's really cool.
I thought it was really good that they would do something like that. There were a lot of fart jokes.
These are young astronauts.
They're in a castle with 3 guys for a few days.
That's right.
And they're talking about the type of food that they're eating, and they just open the window and use their
They're
laser fuel.
That's right. Oh, that's right. It was kind of directed at one of the guys, though, right?
I think it was basically general.
Yeah, right.
Could be wrong.
So it was directed by Richard Dale, and it starred Daniel Levine, James Marsters, and Andrew Lincoln as Michael Collins. Or one guy that went up but didn't get to go on the
Very important for him to be up there.
Well, someone had to stay in the Apollo 11 craft, right?
In the command module.
That was all right. So someone had to stay there.
So it was the landing,
Yes.
and then the command module.
Right. And it's an important job to stay out there. You should not feel upset at all that you didn't
Well,
get
I'm sure he does it.
Well, you probably did for a while.
No, you're part of the team when you do this.
That's true.
You do not get into being an astronaut if you're you're a star. You don't want to work with other people. You get done pretty quick.
Maverick can be
No, no way. You are part of the team. It's the team is much more important than the individual.
Yeah, I guess so. So the way this Moonshot show started is there was a voiceover that it was typed on screen, right? Where they said this is the story of the Apollo 11 based on the real events. And we're trying, and it's something about sort of filling in some of the holes of what they were doing that wasn't recorded or broadcast or reported on, right? There was some of that. There was a little bit with the wives and so on, and how they were reacting, how the families at home on the ground watching them, fart jokes and stuff like that, and making fart jokes and so on.
That kind of stuff was never recorded, so
Yeah,
they probably made fart jokes, but they speculated fart jokes.
Yeah, sure. I thought it was okay, but not amazing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, from a historical point of view, I thought it was really interesting.
I assume it was quite accurate.
Well, especially with the audio at the end, where they're actually communications. Now, one thing I did find interesting was they came on the radio at one point and asked, for the location of a survey vessel of some kind.
Oh, that's right. There was something unknown in the sky.
Yeah, they saw something, and then so they speculated in the conversation they were having why they would radio back to Houston asking for the coordinates of this thing, right? So they're going like, okay, that seems a little close for that. Let's get the coordinates. No, it's not coordinates. We reported UFOs, and we can't do that. We're the laughing stock of the universe. Yeah, kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, why would they ask that question? That was part of communication without any information on the background.
That really happened, obviously.
Communication happened. Why they asked the question about where the location of where they were thinking of, that's not known. So the writers were speculating why they would ask that question.
Yeah, that's right. Well, are you sure it's not known? Maybe they legitimately thought it was that object, and so they needed to find out where it was. They said it's somewhere else. So what is that thing?
Yeah. Well, it's not known by me at the very least.
That's right. So I mean, this was produced in 2009, so presumably in the many years since they were actually up there in 1969. That no more information on that sort of that object or why we're wondering about it has surfaced. That's kind of
Or maybe it's come up in interviews and they explained it away somehow. We saw something about maybe that was that reflection of some kind. It was the first time that we were ever this far away from Earth, looking so close to the moon, and like, okay, something going on. What the hell is that? It's just been a reflection of the sun off of the regular.
Did that come up in the Tom Hanks movie?
No, that was Apollo 13.
Well, that was Apollo 13, right? Different guys on the moon.
Yeah, and they never got there.
Right. They went around and came back. Mixing my Apollo missions.
Yeah, they talked about the commander of Apollo 13, Tom Hanks character, the real person that he played was mentioned in this thing. They were talking about Lovell, Jim Lovell. Yeah, talking about you should be Lovell. No, it was somebody else. It was Neil Armstrong. Kind of thing.
Cool. So Andrew Lincoln, it was kind of a subdued performance.
I think everything was a subdued performance.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it wasn't a lot of action or excitement, but he did a fine job.
Yeah, from a historical point of view, that was great. From a drama point of view, it's kind of like.
But it's not supposed to be dramatic, right?
No. Well, it was the time, it was the height of drama, 1969 for crying out loud, of course. But The Right Stuff was a much better movie based on the same content.
I love that movie.
Yes.
Andrew Lincoln's accent as American in this, something we talked about in The Walking Dead, a lot of people did a fair bit. That is, especially in the pilot in The Walking Dead, his accent was a little shaky at times. I thought better in this movie.
I didn't notice it, so I would say yes, it was better.
Yeah, which is interesting because it comes before. So maybe it's the southern accent that he's still getting used to.
Also, maybe he's just listening to some of the words, right?
I guess so, yeah. Some of the existing dialogue he just has to reproduce. I don't know. But it was good. Check it out. It was Moonshot from 2009. Stable on iTunes. Finally, we watched Strike Back. We were going to watch all 3 or all 6 episodes of this. On iTunes, it's sold as 3 parts. But since we had this Life and Drop the Dead Donkey, we only did the first one, which is kind of okay because it's very self-contained.
It is.
Even though the second 2 parts or 4 parts, depending on how you look at it, do relate and form one long story. This one is definitely self-contained. It's directed by Daniel Percival, starring Richard Armitage, Jodie May, and Andrew Lincoln as Hugh Collinson. Very similar name to Michael Collins in Moonshot. Yep, strangely. So it's a 6-part series, and it's an adaptation of SAS soldier Chris Ryan's novel Strike Back. Right. So what happens in this first episode? Most interesting thing I think is that Andrew Lincoln, this is a spoiler, plays a villain.
You don't
know that until the end.
Until the very end.
Yes.
That's the thing in the mailbox.
That's right. He is a villain. The basic plot is, though, some soldiers are in Iraq, infiltrating a safe house, sort of doing a rescue mission to get somebody out, and they encounter some problems. They encounter a kid with a bomb strapped to his chest. They manage to, defuse that situation, for lack of a better term, but some of their guys are killed. Right. And the show details the aftermath of that, but also what is going on roughly 10 years, 9 years later. Yeah. At the beginning, Andrew Lincoln's one of those soldiers, but, a decade later, he is a high-ranking military official with the British Secret Service. Right. And his main buddy, who is one of the other soldiers, has none of it not really gone down, has a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder, I think. Some events take place. That means they can maybe find that kid again, who they think killed their friends.
Right. Who had bomb strapped
to him. And Andrew Lincoln's soldier pal comes back and goes on a mission of revenge.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed watching it. The whole thing was ridiculous.
I don't know why it was ridiculous. Why was it ridiculous?
Because a soldier who's been on commission for 10 years and has, residual psychological issues based on his service doesn't just come back, walk in, say he was buddy, who's now a high-ranking official. Let me go in, send me, I'm going all alone. Does that happen?
What if the high-ranking official knows that he's the bad guy and this guy's been having problems and might cause him, professional and personal problems down the road and wants to go back to Iraq for a fool's errand suicide mission? I don't know. If I was the bad guy, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead.
Get yourself killed
What
because,
do you need?
yeah, I suppose, but it seems a little far-fetched for me.
If he's the bad guy, I think he made a bad decision there, and that's fine.
That's true. I guess we know that by the end.
Yeah, you have to look back. It's one of those things where everything changes right at the end. You gotta mentally review the entire thing in order to have it make sense.
I suppose. What do you think of Andrew Lincoln in this authority position?
I think he did well.
I think so. He did okay. I mean, he spent all his time after the initial raid. He spent all his time in sort of the war room.
Yeah, he was wearing a suit.
He was wearing a suit. Yeah, exactly. He was making high up decisions and standing there looking at radar boards and so on and stuff like that. Yep. He did an okay job, and he got to use his original accent. That's right. Which of course he did too in his life. But it's nice to hear him speak British. No, it's Queen's English. Queen's English. There you go. Someone's gonna complain about that. He did a good job. Although we spent a lot more time with the other soldier on his suicide mission, right. Which, as it turns out, wasn't so much of a suicide mission. He made it back.
Where's the story? Someone goes on a suicide mission and dies.
Where's
the drama?
Still a good story.
And he got arrested the damsel in distress.
Yes, he did, but not the grown-up version of the bomb kid.
That's right.
Just so
He
everyone
died for bad reasons.
Yeah, that's true. Although is he really dead? Did he come back again?
That's true.
That's true. We got.
Did they explain why Andrew Lincoln's character went off and shot the other soldiers?
No, we don't know that yet.
Okay, because I was wondering about that. Like, I missed it.
Yeah, what was the point of doing that? Yeah, I don't think they explained that. If they did,
Bad guy. He did it for a reason. Bad guy reasons. He was a bad guy back then. So he's trying to cover up his whatever. He was a bad guy the whole time.
And it wasn't accidental. They were very clear that he didn't shoot them by accident. Which, as a soldier, that's really bad if you do that. Shoot somebody by accident. Friendly fire. I know, we don't understand it all together.
I don't know. It happens.
Okay.
It's bad. It's not a good thing.
Definitely not a good thing. Are you going to watch the rest of it?
No, I might.
I will. I think so. I watched it over 2 nights because it was all 2 hours long.
It was pretty long.
But there's a definite break in the middle because the broadcast started, I think. But anyways, I think he did a nice job, and hopefully he has a bigger part in the second 2 parts, the bad guy part. Yeah, it was fun to see him as a bad guy. I think it'll be even more fun to see him, knowing he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So that is Andrew Lincoln.
Wait, Love Actually. Didn't we have Love Actually on the list?
Okay, we have Love Actually. Give me your thoughts on Love Actually.
Well, I watched Love Actually with my wife on Sunday. I said something in the movies, and I said, do you mind